taken me a long time to put a video like this together. I could never seem to find the right words that I thought were best suited for a video like this. It's not a funny moments video, it's not an upbeat best of that you're kind of used to on this channel. I want to take you all on a journey. I want to get some things off my chest that have been eating away at me for quite some time now, and of all times, now feels like the perfect moment. It's going to be a long video, just kind of us having a chat, as I'll put a lot of heart into this. If you do end up liking the video, dropping a like and subscribing down below would be greatly appreciated. Destiny is a game like no other. I'm sure you've heard something of it, whether it's people praising the amazing gunplay that it has or complaining about its terrible onboarding, which both are true. But Destiny isn't just that. The feelings and memories I have of this game aren't things I can easily describe with a phrase or a metaphor. It's something special, truly special. Some people have like these definitive games like Minecraft or Terraria for some, but for many others like myself, that game was Destiny. I first picked up the game back in 2015 when I was roughly 11. The PlayStation 4 had come out 2 years prior, and I had been saving up a lot of pocket money just by doing some chores around the house so I could buy it with a bundle, you know, a game or two to come with. And it came with Destiny and Infamous Second Son from our local game store. Now, an 11-year-old me who loved the Infamous games on the PS3 and knew absolutely nothing about first-person shooters, I kind of just played Infamous Second Son, really. You know, I love the hell out of that game. I still pray for an Infamous 3 or another Infamous game in that universe. Funnily enough, I kind of let Destiny to rot in the collection until my dad found it and like picked it up after work at some point. He played it like a tiny bit, and since he was the one who kind of introduced me to Mass Effect, which I played with him a little bit, he suggested that one day after school I should give this game Destiny a go. So I put in the disc, I created my first character. I didn't really read what the classes did. I just noticed that the Titan looked like an N7 operative from Mass Effect, and so I just went with that. I was also a really big Marvel fan growing up, and so when I saw that I could make my character an Exo, I immediately jumped to making Ultron as a Titan in Destiny. And off I went, starting an amazing journey that little did I know would span over a decade. That's what most people experience. Most people pick up the game for the first time and haven't dropped it since. My first time, I was an 11-year-old who had played Minecraft, where a digital zombie made of 4 or 5 pixel blocks and was the scariest thing on screen, and shooting smoke from my hands. Those are the games that I would play. I never played sci-fi games. So when I saw a dark tunnel and aliens shooting me, I was scared shitless. And I closed the game and it was collecting dust back in the collection. That is until The Taken King came out. I wasn't the most popular kid at school. It wasn't that I was hated or avoided or anything. I got along with everyone. I just, wasn't part of the major groups, like the people playing sport on the oval all the time or playing foursquare in the basketball courts. I wasn't doing that. So when one of my classmates comes up to me and asks if I had a PlayStation, this was one of the newer kids to the school, he asked if I had a game called Destiny and asked if I wanted to play with him. I said, yeah, I do, but it's one of my dad's games. I can ask if I can play it. So I thought that if I played with him, he could kind of do the first mission for me, kill all the red bar dregs that I was terrified of. Alas, I had to start alone. But I got home, I finished my homework, clenched my teeth, and fought my way through the Fallen all the way to the tower, where I was finally greeted by my new friend, Oscar Orange 1502. This was my mate from primary school who had just claimed his level 25 booster pack that he got with his Taken King collection bundle that came with his PS4. To say I was jealous was an understatement.
Okay, so, Oscar, he was level 11, and then he got this magic bag thing, and he immediately transformed into a level 25.
Regardless, every single day after school, we would jump into a voice chat and play for hours and hours. I really want to give a shout out to younger me for recording all of this footage. The gameplay that you're seeing on screen right now is actually me and Oscar playing the game back in 2015 for the very first time. We fell in love with it. Became our ritual. Get up, go to school, talk about Destiny during recess and sometimes in the middle of class, go home, smash out some homework, log back in. It was just such a good time. When I finished the base game, I realized I couldn't play many of the activities that Oscar was doing because I didn't own the DLC. I only owned Destiny, like the vanilla game. Until one day, my dad walks down the back where we had our PlayStation with Destiny, the Taken King Legendary Edition. I was over the moon. I finally got to experience what everyone called was the best expansion ever. And since my Titan was past level 25 at that point, I made a second character, a hunter, and used the level booster on him. The Taken King genuinely hooked me. I couldn't stop playing. I spent hours of my free time just grinding levels, and getting legendary gear genuinely felt like I had hit the peak of leveling. That is until Oscar told me about exotics. He explained they were so powerful that you could only equip one weapon and one piece of armor at a time. The more I found out about the game, the more I just wanted to discover what else was out there. Destiny taught me a lot of things. It taught me how to communicate and talk to people. It boosted my hand-eye coordination. When I was 12, I went to a shooting range in the country with my dad and our neighbor of the time. And let's just say I was a bit too accurate for a 12-year-old kid. And I entirely blame that on my time sniping the Boomer Knights in the King's Fall raid off the balconies in the Totems encounter. It helped me become more social at my soccer team as well, which is where I was able to meet one of my lifelong best friends, who on the channel appears as Mr. Magnolia, but for the sake of this video we'll just call him Hammer. It inspired me to start making content. I wanted to share the moments I had with my friends and strangers online to immortalize them so that I could always look back and remember the feeling of entering the Black Garden for the first time, or descending into the Hellmouth on the moon, and also to try and make something that people would enjoy watching. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm so grateful that I can do it now, even to a small audience right now. Destiny 1 was the game I adored all through school. In fact, a revisiting Destiny 1 series has been secretly in the works for a while now, long before the announcement that Bungie made recently, and episode 1 is incredibly close to dropping. Rise of Iron came and went quicker than I remember, but to me it was the best era of the game. The Siva aesthetic, the snowy landscapes, the snowy landscapes were so good. The updated Plagueland Splicer Fallen, and the nostalgia-fueled exotic quests for both the Galahorn and the Kvostov made it the perfect send-off for Destiny 1. Until the Age of Triumph came, where all of the old raids were brought up to 390 light with incredible ornaments that we still love to this day. Elemental primary weapons returned as exotics, and Sparrow Racing League became a permanent fixture in private matches. It was a massive final hurrah for Destiny 1. By this time, I was figuring out which high school I should transfer to from primary school. I needed to start thinking about a weekend job just to get some money in, and I needed to start making some sporting decisions about if I wanted to pursue a different club or stay with the friends in the team that I've already, come to know and love. I had to start looking outside of Destiny and focusing on my teenage years. It had been an amazing 3-year journey, and there were so many other games to play if I wanted to. And then Bungie released the teaser for Destiny 2. This was huge for my friends and myself. We couldn't stop talking about it at soccer training, on the sub bench during matches, during our warm-ups. It was all we could talk about. Around this time, Hemmer and I got closer, and we started having LAN parties because we lived so close to each other. And eventually I did what any sane 13-year-old would do with $70, is I marched down to my local game store and I pre-ordered Destiny 2 for the PlayStation 4. It was roughly late August, probably mid-August, when a letter arrived in the mail from the store asking if I wanted to attend the midnight release on a Wednesday night for Destiny 2. I showed my dad, fully expecting him to say no because it was a school night, but to my absolute surprise, he told me he would take me, and he'd let me take the rest of the week off school to play it. I'd only really heard about the stories of people lining up outside of a store at midnight or during the day in America when Halo launched. I'd never really experienced it before, and I don't know why. My dad said yes, I really don't. But from the bottom of my heart, I have to say thank you to him for introducing me to this universe. I don't think I'd have the friends I would have today, or have met them or got along as well as I have without those memories and interactions with Destiny. I still even have the poster that I'm pretty sure I won it at some community-driven competition at the night, or it was just handed out. I think it was actually handed out. I still have the poster from that night in 2017. So thank you, Dad. Now, everyone remembers Destiny 2's launch as a horrible mess, a nightmare even. It was broken, it had terrible loot with static rolls, we were locked into a double primary system where today's special weapons like fusion rifles and snipers were in the heavy slot, subclasses were restricted to fixed paths where you couldn't customize it at all, and there was no real incentive to keep you playing once you hit the cap. That's not how I remember it. Of course, the issues existed, but my 14-year-old self didn't care at all. I was just having fun playing a sequel to my favorite game, experiencing additions that I couldn't even fathom. I loved the plot of the Red War campaign, the design of the new armor sets, the fresh new subclass abilities. It was all amazing. To me, it wasn't a perfect game, but it was a place where I could log in and have a great time every single day. It was roughly around the Warmind expansion, however, when the relationships I had built in Destiny 1 began to fracture. To no fault of anyone's own, we didn't, split off in bad blood. It's just people stopped playing the game. Oscar officially put down the game after primary school, and we'd lost touch after he moved on to a different school than my high school that I chose. Hemmer lost his PS4 to a story that I still remember hearing from his end on the phone a long time ago. And most of our online clan that we had made moved on to other games like Fortnite and Rocket League. It was a lonely time to play Destiny. I was 14, playing a niche game that kind of felt like no one else at school cared about because the new Call of Duty came out, or Fortnite is the brand new thing, so it kind of was overshadowed by all these other games. But it was during that dry spell that I put out an LFG post for the Leviathan raid and met the funniest group of people I'd ever encounter. Names like Reckless Destiny, Putin Eats Rice, Connor Chi, and Sniper became massive influences on me and eventually became long-time friends. We went through Forsaken together, we conquered the Last Wish raid, we farmed the hell out of the bugged menagerie chest and continued playing, I'm pretty sure, until about Witch Queen. We had a blast. In a period where I thought I couldn't make long-lasting bonds again, I found them. And it wasn't just Destiny that we shared. We helped each other through real-life hardships. When I went through rough patches with my friends at school, I could talk to these guys because, they'd already been through it. Obviously not the exact same situations, but they've been through high school before. And around 2020, I just got a random message out of the blue from an old friend. It was from Mr. Magnolia himself, who I hadn't heard from in years. He asked if I wanted to start playing Destiny 2 again. At that time, I had just built my first ever gaming PC and Destiny 2 was the only thing installed. So of course, I jumped back in and we picked up right where we left off. Then in 2022, right after graduating high school, I hopped on a flight to Sydney to meet Connor in person. We spent most of every day hanging out together, doing cool stuff and just making fun memories. Unfortunately, I don't talk to Connor or that crew anymore, but I'm glad I had those friends when I did. I wouldn't have those memories if it wasn't for this game. At the end of 2023, things were looking up. I had just finished my first season in senior soccer and was awarded runners-up for the Player of the Season award voted by my teammates. I had also just gotten into my first serious relationship. Life was good. Everything that can go right went right. Sure, Destiny 2 had suffered its worst expansion launch ever with Lightfall, but they had also just revealed fully the final shape with Prismatic, the new Dread enemy faction. They had released everything via trailers and Vidocs and advertised it as the culmination of the 10-year saga, so that is what I was looking forward to. 2024 was an awesome time to be a Destiny player. The final shape felt like the perfect celebration of Destiny. The campaign, bringing back Cade, Prismatic, an exotic sword, the Still Hunt Sniper. I still remember getting the Still Hunt Sniper after that little exotic quest where you finish in the Screeb hole. It was an awesome expansion, and I wish that I could have experienced it with some of the friends I lost along the way, but I'm glad I experienced it with the ones I had at the time. My partner at the time also was heavily into medieval fantasy and wouldn't dare touch a sci-fi shooter. But when we finally played it together, it was something very special. I was able to share a piece of what made me who I am with somebody that I loved dearly. That is really the last time I had something good, truly a string of good things, while Destiny was in a good state. Since then, the weight has been stacking up. At the end of last year, my family had to say goodbye to one of our beloved pets due to her declining health, which was a massive blow for all of us. Luckily, I had 3 anchors. I had my girlfriend, I had Destiny, and I had my friends and family. Unfortunately, that relationship didn't last. We separated horribly in January of this year, and I was completely broken, shattered. I turned back to Destiny 2 as it was my comfort game. Even though the game itself was in an incredibly rough state, and its future was uncertain. I couldn't see a way back for my favorite game, and that is the first time I ever felt like that. The universe that had changed so many lives was slipping away. Then just 4 months after losing our first pet, we had to say goodbye to another. It was something completely unexpected, as in his last week of life, he just faded. He suffered major back problems which just drained his quality of life, and it was cruel to keep him any longer, and there was nothing that we could have done. In those deep moments of grief and sadness, all I had left were my friends and Destiny. I watched the state of the game dwindle, and it felt mirror match to watching my dog slowly fade away. I couldn't let that be my final memory of the game that shaped me. So, I bought Destiny 1 on a completely fresh account and played it from start to finish. That will be coming in a separate video series. Spoilers, I experienced everything again. From the vanilla campaign, all the way to defeating Axis in the Wrath of the Machine raid. The entire time I couldn't help but have a massive grin on my face, holding on to hope for whatever major update Bungie was teasing for June, as it was delayed from March. Will Wrath of the Machine finally be added into Destiny 2 with an awesome remaster? Will we get answers on how the Fate Saga is going to end? Are we ever going to see the rumored red subclass that has been teased and leaked ages ago? Before I knew it, the floor dropped out completely. The date was May 22nd, 2026. My family had just made the devastating decision to put down our final dog, who was suffering from stage 4 kidney disease. Traumatized and grieving, I went back to my computer and turned on Astacross's stream to see what Bungie was offering for the June update. You know, it was really the only thing I was holding on to. And as I waited for the article to be posted, I started to play some Destiny 2. I look over to my second monitor, and these were the words that appeared on my screen. For almost 12 years, we have had the joy and honor to explore the Destiny universe with you all. While our love for Destiny 2 has not changed, it has become clear that after the final shape, we have reached the time for our shared worlds and Destiny to live beyond Destiny 2. As our focus turns towards a new beginning for Bungie, we will begin incubating our next games. To that end, on June 9, 2026, we will release the final live service content update for Destiny 2. And that was it. Destiny 2, as we know it, is over. Reading that article felt like going through the horrible breakup again. It felt like having to say goodbye to all of my friends and my dogs at the exact same time. Bungie is giving us one last hurrah. We had a version of this in Destiny 1 with the Age of Triumph, but back then we knew Destiny 2 was right around the corner. So we weren't worried. We weren't as distraught. We knew that there was a future for the franchise, and we were excited. Not this time. This time the future is an unknown void. We don't know if Destiny 3 will happen in 5 years, 10 years, or if it will ever happen. The content creators I grew up watching, Dado, TH3 Jez, Astacross, Rick Kakis, and so many others, kept me enriched in this universe for over a decade. The friends I made along the way, I am so incredibly fortunate to still have some of them, and so thankful I got to experience those memories with the ones that have left. I truly hope this isn't the definitive end for the franchise, with Bungie shifting their focus onto Marathon and their incubated projects, I hope they leave room for Destiny 3. But I'm not going to sit here and overanalyze every single line of text in the article today. I'm just going to be taking it at face value, and I am just filled with gratitude that I got to play their game. I'm still going to be playing Destiny. I'll be, popping in and out to see how things are doing, but come June 9th, I will be playing through that final update like I've never played a Destiny update before. I won't be speedrunning it to get all the best loot as quick as possible, to get all of the gold rolls and farm out perfect builds. I'm gonna take it slow. I'm going to experience it, appreciate it, and soak it all in, because this is it. The curtains are closing and I want to be the last one in the theater still applauding as the lights go down. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this journey, and please feel free to share your favorite Destiny memories in the comments below. I would love to read through them. We also have a Discord server where we discuss the game and other games as well. We support each other and we just hang out sometimes. So if you want to be a part of that genuine community, I will leave a link in the description below. I will be streaming the update on June the 9th on my Twitch channel, which I will also leave a link in the description as well. If you did enjoy this tribute, hitting a like button helps out immensely, and subscribing as well while you're down there would mean the world to a small channel like this. That is all from me today. Per Audacia Ad Astra. I'll see you Starside.
Okay, nope. He's immune.
I'm your host, TH3, aka Monotone Complainy Guy, aka Titan Slayer, aka Fish Flopper, aka Sword Slapper. I know the titles are unusual, but I assure you I'm kind of a big deal, and definitely not insane.
Go. I got rushed.
Go.
You have to go now. Quick.
Yes!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What is up, guys? Cactus here. Bye.
We did it. Grab the chest. We did it. The chest. Shoot it. Fucking shoot it.
No troll.
Please.
Give me my loot.
Oh my god.
Greetings, Guardians. My name is Byfear.
Dude, I want, for the first time in years, I want to play Hunter, dude.
Maximus.
Yeah, me too, kiddo. But hey, I'm here now. Wherever the hell here is.
What?
You sure shine bright back there, huh? You're my favorite. Don't ever forget that.
If I